Hey, what's up, guys? Here on another episode on our podcast, Eli and Mike. We have a great, amazing individual here today with us regarding an amazing company and a great story that we cannot wait to hear. We have the amazing Danny from Happy Jewelers. Hey, Danny.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Anytime. Thank you so much for being with us. And you know, it's really interesting because you were actually connected to me through a referral source, and I believe his name was Oscar. He's a police officer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so
and a realtor.
And a realtor.
Right.
So yeah, shouting you realtors out there. So
yes.
and actually you had asked me before we did the interview, before we started, that who do I get into the show? And it's pretty much all word of mouth. It's not really specific to anybody in general. Like, we don't go out and scout.
Yeah.
We just run into people.
I love
And
it.
they're like, bring people
Right.
up, and I'm like, oh my God, we've never had a jewelry company
Right.
here.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
we're always
yeah.
wearing this crazy
Yeah,
jewelry.
we always have
I love
jewelry
it.
on.
I know the minute you guys
You
walked
know?
in, I looked, I was like, oh, I love it.
Okay,
These are my
yeah.
kind of guys right
There
here.
you go.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
So we wanted to have you on the show. I know I spoke to Lena, your social manager, social
Yes.
media manager.
Mhm.
Super nice female. She's super cool and she introduced us together
Yeah.
on the thread. And we would love to know a lot more about your business. So on our
Yes.
podcast, we kind of interview everybody in the entrepreneurial space. And we kind of want to know more about what exactly your company does. I mean, obviously you sell jewelry, but there's a lot of history that you have. There's a lot of things that we read into that Happy Jewelers, Happy Jewelers
Exactly.
has to offer besides
Right.
obviously happiness.
Yes.
And we wanted to just ask you directly, what are some of the things that Happy Jewelers has provided to the community?
So we're a family-owned business. We're second generation. My
Love
father
it.
started it in Istanbul, Turkey.
Oh wow.
His family were farmers,
Mhm.
and they essentially, they kind of grew up with nothing,
Okay.
And when my dad was growing up, he always kind of had a vision. He wanted more for his family, for his brothers and everything. So when he came to age at about like 12, 13 years old, he told his dad, he said, hey, I want to go to the main city in Istanbul. And, he worked as a driver, janitor, kind of worked his way up. And then he
Wow.
started as a bench jeweler.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
And as he started making a little bit of money, he started putting little pieces out on his little desk and started selling it. And
No
eventually,
way.
he created his manufacturer, which we know today as Eric Mounting. So we have
There
you go.
a large manufacturer that's based in LA.
Okay.
That's been there for over 50 years, since 1973.
Oh my god.
And then 25 years ago, he wanted to get into the retail space. So he opened up Happy Jewelers, and we actually bought it from a older owner.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kept the name. So we kept we retained their clients essentially, right?
Got it.
And my brother came in first because he's older. He's 7 years older than me.
Okay,
And he
okay.
took that business, and his mindset was invest in the customer,
Yes.
Okay.
right? That's your
Right.
best advertisement is referrals.
Mhm.
It's such a great philosophy because that's really the main focus in building relationships is obviously having that hands-on experience with your customer,
Yeah.
getting that warm feeling of like, oh, we're the owners, because you guys are self-made, in this jewelry business
Yes.
versus these big old corporations that have been around building more companies and more companies, where I feel like sometimes they're
Mhm.
kind of they're so company that they're losing touch of the customer's expectations or the
Right.
field.
Yeah, you said 50 years. I mean, actually, we were watching some TikToks last night, and there's so many. I know, right?
Yeah.
And
I
there's
think
so
he
many,
was watching.
I think it was me. I think it was me. But
Um,
there's so many like stores that are shutting that are like huge names, like stores that are like Best Buy or like
I saw that.
JCPenney, right?
Yeah.
I saw that.
And some of these stores, they haven't even been around for 50 years, but they're huge names and
Yeah.
they're already going out.
Yes.
And you're sitting here today with us having a family-owned business
Yeah.
and 50 years strong, and you and us know that you're not going anywhere.
And you're
Yeah. You know
definitely
what I
not
mean?
50, so I'm sure it's you got people before you,
Yeah,
Right,
exactly,
right.
exactly.
And going back to, so you were saying you guys obtained Happy Jewelers.
Yes.
Was that 25 years ago?
We obtained it 25 years
Oh
ago.
wow,
Yeah.
amazing,
We obtained it
amazing.
25 years ago, and
Wow.
we just continue to grow it.
Okay, okay.
Fantastic.
And we invested in our customers. So it's like,
Mhm.
my brother's philosophy was like, instead of going out and spending, thousands and thousands of dollars on magazines,
Right.
search engines,
Mhm.
and Google and all that
Mhm.
stuff, when a customer comes in, he'd rather back up his item, right? You're never going to hear like, oh, this sizing is $50 from us. Oh, diamond fell out, it's going to be $40. We
Mhm.
lifetime guarantee it.
Amazing.
And when you do that for one customer, I guarantee you when that guy walks out, he's going to be telling all his friends and all his family.
Definitely.
And you essentially build a business like
Oh
that.
yeah, we have a
Wow.
lot of jewelry, and some of the stores that have us locked in. Before we come to you, obviously, you know what I mean.
This is
Now
before
we're
you.
Yeah.
now we're lifetime customers, but before some of these diamond places, they will lock you in because not everybody does it, but they have that where they'll replace a diamond, for a lifetime. So you
Yeah.
kind of get locked into that
course.
store, but in reality, it's an amazing thing when these companies take care of you for a lifetime. Not many companies do that, and you guys are doing that.
Of course, yeah.
It's
Because look,
amazing.
walking into a jewelry
Mhm.
store, and I always tell my staff this
Mhm.
too, to my salespeople. I go, look, when you're walking in, a lot of these people are walking in, for an engagement ring,
Yes.
an expensive item, an expensive watch. It's intimidating. It's
Mhm.
nerve wracking. Even me
Mhm.
sometimes as a jeweler and a watch dealer, when I walk into these like boutiques in the mall, I get nervous.
Yes.
So I can't imagine a customer that
Yeah.
doesn't know exactly what they want, or
Mhm.
making the biggest decision of their life of buying an engagement ring.
course.
So you
Right.
just always gotta have a smile.
Oh, I love that. And so it's Happy Jewelers. 50 years, that's a long time. Did it start off with like just diamond rings? Did it and then turn into watches? Like how did it all kind of go in the last 50
Yeah.
years of
So we started
evolution,
off, exactly,
you
right?
know? 'Cause that's a long time. You
It
know
is
what I mean? That's
very, very long time.
amazing.
So
And
we s-
congrats to your
Yeah.
family. That's
Congratulations.
so beautiful,
Thank you,
know?
thank you. It's a big
Mhm, mhm.
accomplishment.
Yes.
And we have to keep striving and getting
Right.
more.
No,
We started out with
definitely.
like gold jewelry,
Okay.
charms,
Mhm.
engagement rings. We always wanted to
Mhm.
focus on engagement rings, right?
Okay.
Because
Go.
we always said, what's a recession-proof business, and what does somebody always need? Because we're in the
Right.
luxury space, right?
Yes.
Of course.
There's a recession, people aren't going to go buy a diamond bracelet, diamond ring, but people always need to get engaged. And if it's a down market, they might not spend 20,000, they might not spend 5,000,
Right.
but they'll spend 1,000, they'll spend
Yes.
1,500.
Makes sense.
They have to get
Yes.
something nice.
Mhm.
And then when we wanted to make our audience even bigger, we said,
Mhm.
how can we make it bigger? How can we attract more people? And that was when we got into the luxury watch business.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
and
Powerful.
and obviously you even brought up the fact of the industry changes depending on where the market's at. COVID was another experience for a lot of us. So during, not necessarily COVID, but during the last 50 years, was there ever a moment where the jewelry industry, not even just your company, because I'm sure if it impacted you, it was everybody
Yeah.
in the jewelry space. When was that time, and how did you guys overcome that?
So in 2008, when we had one of the biggest recessions, right?
Yes.
As a businessman, right? Now we turned to buying, right? We're buying a lot of from the public
Of course.
and reselling it to clients that wanted a better deal,
Got it.
essentially, right? So we
course.
kind of switched our business, kind of turned it. We still had the retail space where we were doing the engagement rings, the
Mhm.
watches, but we kind of turned to, a lot of people were liquidating items, selling stuff, and we were
Like
buying
gold or
gold, watches, diamonds,
got
engagement
it.
rings,
Oh,
everything.
wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. And so that's good to hear that, because you actually did exactly what a lot of companies do. Like even that's in the real
Mhm.
estate space.
Right.
COVID was actually good for real estate and mortgage, but a little bit after, even currently right now, it's not the best rate and
No.
mortgage market
Right.
or real
Of
estate
course.
market,
Right.
because obviously people are just, the market's just a little messy right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like you said, in the space of jewelry, engagements are here. I mean, we're engaged. I mean, we
Right.
haven't been
Right.
married
Yeah.
for 13 years, but
Yeah.
but
Oh my
the
God.
thing is, we bought it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's important, because a lot of people, they follow love and the attraction, the
Right.
requirement, of making people feel one.
Mhm.
And that's great that you're tapping into that, because a lot of people are like, all of us watching, they're like, oh, I want to get married one day. I want to have some
Yeah.
piece of jewelry on me, because
Of
somehow,
course.
some way, I feel like, I wonder if you know this history piece, but I know somewhere in the past, somebody must have created this mindset where you must have something on your finger and call that a way to commit to something.
To
Yeah.
bind
I mean,
you, right?
is there such history? Is there a first pioneer of rings?
I don't know that answer.
Right,
That's
right.
a really good
Yeah,
question,
yeah.
actually.
Right.
But De Beers kind of
Mhm.
created that diamonds are forever,
Mm,
right?
okay,
You're showing
yes.
your
I
love
remember that. Yeah.
Oh,
with
right.
De
I've
Beers,
heard
who
of this.
essentially controls the diamond mines,
Okay,
diamond
there you
space.
go.
They control
Got
probably
it.
90% of the diamonds that
Yes.
go into the world. They own all the mines and everything.
Mhm.
Right?
Oh, got it. So actually, that was going to be one of my questions.
Mhm.
So are you guys digging into the mines? But actually, it's De Beers.
Yes.
They're the owners of the mine companies, and then they obviously distribute.
Yeah. So De Beers, I think right now they probably control 75 to 80% of it.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
And what they do is there's site holders, right? There's site holders who are based in like India,
Mhm.
Israel, Belgium,
Yes.
big companies where they'll buy and they have their own manufacturing diamonds. Because we do such volume, we buy directly from the site holders.
Mhm.
But for the way that diamonds work is like there's the mine, obviously,
Mhm.
there's a site holder,
Mhm.
and then there's wholesalers overseas, and then there's wholesalers in LA and or New York, wherever you're at, and
Yes.
then the jeweler buys it.
Mhm.
Okay.
So when you go to other jewelers, which are not as big or they don't have the buying power,
Right.
you're essentially going through 3-4 hands of profit
Oh wow.
before buying it.
Mm.
Whereas with us, we're able to give lower prices and keep our
Mhm.
margins because we're buying it straight from the site holders.
Amazing,
Wow,
amazing.
that's
And
great.
you know,
Yeah.
speaking about like diamonds and luxury timepieces, what is your like outlook on it as energy wise? Like, do you feel like, because for me, I feel like obviously it's something that can bind people, but also like the diamond alone is like a rock that has energy, and there's other diamonds like emeralds that have energy to them. Like, do you feel like when you look at these pieces, they're valuable like that because the energy they hold?
Of course.
right?
Right. It kind of gives you that feeling about
Yeah.
yourself. Like, for me, like
Mhm.
when I go out, like 2 days ago, I
Mhm.
sold my watch off my wrist. I have a lot of clients that walk in and they think it's funny if they buy the watch off my wrist.
Okay.
No way,
Right?
really?
Yeah,
Oh
all the
my
time.
Gosh,
Yeah.
wow.
So it's sort of kind of like a marketing strategy.
Almost.
Oh,
kind
wow.
of,
That's
But
so
sometimes I get
amazing.
mad because I actually like the
Oh,
watch.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
I was gonna
wanna
say
rock
that's
it
a
for
cool
little
watch.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was so busy I forgot to put on a watch.
Mhm.
And then we were at a dinner last night and I didn't have my watch on.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. When I have it on, I feel good.
Yeah.
When I have my wedding ring on,
Uh-huh.
I want the world to know that I'm married. I love my
Yes.
wife, I love my
Right.
kids.
Right.
And yeah, I think
You
for sure,
know,
100%.
There's so much like energy
Yeah.
connected to it.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've even gone as far as getting like promise rings or
Yeah.
just like
Commitment rings.
commitment
and
rings,
Yeah.
like
so many
so
different,
many different
versions.
things
Yeah.
that these things can bring you. You know,
100%.
it's really amazing.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
And you say you're married, so obviously we can touch a little bit of
Yeah.
your personal life. You also have a brother,
A brother,
Gabe, right?
Gabe.
Yes.
So-
shout out to Mr.
So
Gabe.
both of you
Yeah.
guys, what do you both do together? Is it the same position? You guys both kind of handle the customers direct, or is there a difference between both of you?
So we both handle the customers direct. So we're going to be like one of the only stores. Well, I shouldn't say that, but
Okay,
we're
yeah.
always in the front.
Okay.
Right.
Where if you walk into the store, me and my brother are always on the sales floor.
Wow.
We're literally helping every single
Wow.
customer, make sure every deal gets done. We make sure every customer leaves happy,
Mhm.
no matter what it is.
Right.
But on the back end of it, he handles more the diamond jewelry side of the buying,
Mhm.
overlooking it,
Mhm.
and I handle more of the watch side of it.
Oh,
So I make sure the watches are coming in, going out, making sure nothing's getting lost, making
Right.
sure all the watches are perfect.
Yeah.
And he's handling more of the production of the jewelry, diamonds, because we do big volume and we sell
Okay.
about 15 to 20 high-end watches a day.
Wow.
We sell about like
Wow.
25 to 30 engagement rings a day.
That's
And
amazing.
jewelry, we probably sell like 40 to 50 SKUs a day.
Think
Actually,
about
more on the
something.
website.
But I need a field trip.
Wow.
Come on, I need to go out there
yeah,
and, like-
like this is
Someone needs to buy an
yeah.
engagement
We're gonna
ring, by the way.
be right. Yeah,
An upgrade.
An
Yeah,
upgrade's
exactly.
needed. An upgrade's needed.
Exactly.
Wow, but that is so many pieces that you guys are having like fly through your door on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Some of these jewelry stores don't even see one customer, and the malls where people are walking through. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Yep.
you're selling like 20 luxury watches a day.
Literally 20. Even
Wow.
sometimes I look at the report at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I'm like, wow. Like it's
Wow.
wild.
Oh
Like
my
it's crazy to
gosh.
see like
Mhm.
from where like what
Mhm.
you built. It's
Right.
it's cool. It's
right,
fun.
Right. And
I
I'm
like
sure
that.
you've had your
Yeah.
days where you and your brother were maybe there was only one watch that was sold, and for every day of the week, and you're like, okay, we sold 7, amazing. But
Yeah.
now you guys are like 20 a day type thing. You
Oh
know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I got two secret. They're not secret questions because I'm gonna say it, but two questions that might be like a jewelry secret, right?
Yeah.
So one question is, let's just say I came into. Do you accept people pawning their stuff? And
Yeah.
You guys,
Loans we don't do.
Mhm,
Loans, no.
mhm.
No.
but you'll
We'll
give
buy
them
it.
cash. You'll buy
Yes.
it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So we watch a lot of stuff on
Mhm.
well, not TikTok. I watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So he's TikTok more, but on YouTube I'll see people going into like some of those famous places in Vegas, right?
Mhm,
Where they
mhm.
go in and
Pawn stars and stuff.
Yeah, like that.
Right,
and they
right,
pawn
yeah,
things,
yeah.
but this guy kept saying things about like, I'm very honest. I'm gonna give them the real price, right? So I know you're gonna say that. I know the answer you're gonna tell me is you're honest, right? But is that the common nature of most jewelry companies? They'll actually give people their honest, real
No.
value of the item.
No.
Okay.
Because there's everybody like there's good and bad in any business, right?
Okay.
I mean, there's people that are gonna lie to you and try to buy it the cheapest they can, and
Okay.
there's certain people that are gonna be honest with you and they're gonna be upfront, like, hey, we're gonna give you X amount or we can give you X
Mhm.
amount. Because look, at the end of the day, and I always tell this to my clients too, I go, every business needs to profit,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but it's how much you want to profit, right? You have to be fair at the same
Of
time.
course.
But if I didn't
Right.
make profit, I wouldn't be here next year
Mhm.
servicing you because you're
Mhm.
essentially going to go out of business.
Right.
So if somebody's selling something, you don't want to knock them over the head with it,
right.
but you also want to buy it at a price where it makes sense.
That
Like,
makes sense.
You said COVID time, right?
Mhm.
Watches and jewelry and even real estate, right? Everything skyrocketed
Mhm.
Mhm.
through the roof, right?
It
I
did,
mean,
yeah.
There were certain watches. I mean, look, this watch today,
So beautiful.
love it,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
Rolex
I was
Daytona.
like, yeah, I can't
Yeah.
help but get it.
At the top of the market,
Mhm.
this was going a little over $60,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Today you could buy it for like 42, 43.
Okay. Okay.
Ain't that something?
Oh,
It's a big
wow.
difference.
It's a huge
Yeah.
difference. I
Okay,
mean, there's certain
definitely.
like, AP Royal Oaks that I was selling for 100, 110,000.
Yes.
Today are like 45, 50 grand.
Wow.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
huge drop. That's not even.
Yeah, it's a
And
really
like,
big
how
drop.
fast
Okay.
does that like change? So like the last time you saw it like at 100, and now
It
to
was,
50.
it's been like 2 years.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty fast.
It's pretty fast.
That's
it's
pretty fast.
But it was the world, right?
Right.
Money was cheap,
Uh-huh.
no interest. People were making
Yeah.
crazy
yeah.
money, and you couldn't
Yeah.
keep these watches in stock. People were
Right.
buying them like,
No,
well,
you're
you had the crypto guys.
yeah. Oh my God, you're right. You're giving me the chills because I remember these times about 2-3 years ago, right?
Just
When-
a couple years ago.
I mean,
not even that long
everybody
ago.
was
Yeah.
going watch crazy. You couldn't even go into the Rolex store,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, we
and-
bought a Ferrari. I mean, we were like,
Yeah.
let's just go buy a Ferrari, put
It
100
was
grand
just
down.
insane.
We didn't
Yeah.
think about it.
But you
It was
know, we would
crazy.
go into the Rolex store and like, you know, places where you wouldn't even think people would be buying a Rolex. It's like just like a Rolex store in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
mall where you're like, okay, maybe once in a while.
Yeah.
We'll go in these stores and 2 watches available. The whole everything just wiped out.
It's crazy.
And you know, these watches going for such a high price, and then now 2-3 years later, which where we're at now,
Yeah.
again, they're just a little bit kind of like a lot under market.
A lot under, but they
Got it.
still over MSRP.
Okay.
Of course.
You know, a lot of these watches are still
Mhm,
going
mhm.
over MSRP.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was a crazy time. I think for
Right.
everybody it was a crazy
Oh no,
time.
definitely. But does it kind of go like real estate? Is it a good time to buy now these timepieces? Because obviously it's just a world, like you said. The world is always going to change, and we don't know
Yes.
what's going to happen
True.
tomorrow. If it turns out to be good, which you know, with all the stuff that's going on, I feel like there's a correction going on. Hopefully,
Yes.
I'm right. And if that occurs, one of the main things that you know shoots up is the luxury timepieces. So obviously, is it like a good time to buy now? Because in 3 years, it might be back at that 100 mark.
Yeah, I think it's a
Right.
good time to buy right now. I don't know if
Okay.
it'll ever go back to
Mhm.
that
Got it.
100 or
Yes.
120K mark,
Uh-huh,
but I think there's room for improvement
got
on
it,
watches.
got
I
it,
think
yeah.
prices are at a, I don't want to say all time low because even
Mhm.
they're much higher than they were pre-COVID, right? They're
Okay.
still
Oh,
like
got it.
double the price of what
Oh,
they were
wow.
before COVID.
Mhm.
Got it.
But I think it's at a stabilized price where today
Yeah.
prices are what they are.
Got it.
And obviously, like anything else, it'll appreciate in time. Like most valuable items, like
Of course,
like
Yeah.
I
You
feel
know,
like housing. I feel like cars,
Right.
certain cars, obviously,
Yeah.
certain watches and certain jewelry will appreciate.
course.
Just like COVID, there was for housing and loans, it was
Yeah.
the rates were like 2%. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So we even
That's
have
not
to-
coming back.
Right.
It's not coming back.
So
Yeah.
see, we have to tell
Yeah.
people that same thing that you know I don't think you're gonna see those prices again,
Yeah.
but obviously you know it could be amazing close to it.
Yeah,
Or you
it
know
was
what
crazy
I mean?
times. I mean, it
Right.
almost like wasn't like
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, definitely.
I know, it's
Yeah.
definitely like a dream.
Yeah.
So we have these.
Mhm.
We'll call them timepieces. These things that are in here.
Necklaces.
Necklaces,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God,
I
love
wanna
it,
I want
love
us
it.
to open this.
Okay.
because we're
Okay.
talking-
Here,
all this
yeah.
jewelry is making me salivate.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Jewelry
Okay,
con-
I'm so
jewelry
excited.
conversations.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
we do love jewelry.
I think you guys are gonna like them actually. I
Oh
think
my
it's
God,
gonna
Are
be
they
perfect
different?
with your
so
look.
much.
Same.
This is so
Yeah, the
exciting.
same
wanted to get you guys
God,
matching.
we get a
So I'll let
twin.
you open it.
Yeah.
So you
This
can-
is so cool. Okay, thank you so much. We're
Yeah,
so
of
excited. I
course.
didn't know we were gonna do this right this
guys,
minute, but
we just got jewelry right.
right.
now. From the number. Okay, so it's the
Yes.
number one jeweler voted number one jeweler in Orange County for the last decade.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Wow,
It's crazy.
that's 10
Isn't that
years
amazing?
honestly of just
Amazing.
like here,
Yeah,
help
we
me.
help you out with that? I know.
Honestly, no.
You get way too
And
nervous.
so it's so amazing because even like the way you are marketing your product, like I have recently to get my stuff marketed, I'm ordering bags like this. Everything is so in the detail of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you having your name on it, it's just so amazing.
Thank you.
This
Alright,
is so
guys.
beautiful. Like the
Hold on, will you watch it first?
okay, yes, let's go. No
Okay.
way!
You're gonna love 'em.
Oh my god!
Hold on.
I'm gonna turn red. Oh my god, no way.
This is so cool.
You
They're
guys,
awesome.
I have to show you. Oh my god.
This is
Thank
sick.
you
Yeah,
so
it's really
much.
nice. It's good
This
for
is
every
so
day. I mean, honestly,
amazing.
you can wear it with a suit. You can
Right.
dress it
I'm
up,
gonna
dress
like
it
wear
down.
this out. Like you guys, it matches
Guys,
me right now.
That's amazing. Thank
Yeah.
Oh
you so
my
much.
god,
course,
thank you
anytime.
so much. It's
Anytime.
beautiful. We're so blessed. And especially because from Happy
And-
Jewelers,
And,
like
and anybody
wow.
can buy these from your store too.
Anybody can buy them at the store.
Guys, you guys can
Wow.
buy these at the store.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, I
available.
guess I won't tell you ask the price, but whatever it costs, it's worth
Yeah.
it. It
this
looks
is
amazing.
beautiful. This is beautiful. Thank
Wow.
you so much.
Of
The
course.
packaging, everything, I love it.
Of course.
Um,
Anything for you guys. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah,
And
he literally went into the mines and digged it out himself.
Yeah,
Put the
Yeah,
little
exactly.
beads
I
together.
cut the beads and everything myself.
know,
Shrunk
you-
them, put the
You
clouds.
guys
Right,
put the little
right.
green visors.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And
I love
and it sounds like you know, and going back to it, I know it's you, your brother, and then your father who basically created this business. What we've been talking about, it seems like there has been a lot of like good. There's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of, you know, from 1 watch to 20 watches a day type thing.
Yeah.
Was there a struggle that you guys had to go through any time that you remember that you're just like you almost had to close your doors or you know, something like that where you guys struggled through? Because I know a lot of businesses out there go through that, and
Right.
a lot of them choose to close their doors.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank God never.
Okay.
Thank God. Knock on
Okay.
wood.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
blessed. Yeah, we're
Right,
blessed.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've never had that struggle.
Of course.
We've always, I don't want to like come off like cocky or arrogant,
Not
but
even.
we've never had that struggle.
No,
Okay.
Thank
not
God.
even.
We've always grown. Like even
Yes.
during the 2008
Mhm,
recession, our business was still
Right.
Okay.
at an 8 to 10% increase.
No, and I love
Wow.
that. And one thing I think that I see from just talking with you is that you guys are the owners, you, your brother, and your father,
Yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are also in the business. You guys
Right.
are out there. You guys are storefront, like you said, every day. I mean, people could literally go there and find you, which you're the owner.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, you do not see this anymore. You know
No.
what I mean? And
Sometimes even like my CFO, like, he's a numbers guy, right? He
Yeah.
looks at sheets, he looks at papers, and sometimes he'll like, every week we have like a meeting and I'm like,
Mhm.
I fight with him. I'm like, because I'm like, you don't get it. Like
Yeah.
you're not on the front. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. These items aren't the best return, but you know what? They
Right.
bring the people in and they
Yes.
make people happy.
Yes.
Right.
And the stuff that comes in the high return,
Mhm.
they're buying those too.
Mhm,
There you go.
mhm,
So
mhm.
if you're not in the front, you're not understanding, you're not looking at it, you're not talking to people, I don't think you can really run a business
Oh
that
my
successfully.
God,
I mean, I couldn't
love
agree
that.
with you more. I mean, there's so many corporate businesses now that they don't really have the owners running anything anymore.
No.
They're like
Mhm.
in the Bahamas or doing that. But the reality is the business starts diminishing itself on very, we'll say, categorized businesses. Like
Yeah.
real estate to me, I think is very intimate just as much as the jewelry
course.
business.
Right.
Because I feel like they're talking to, like, let's just say you go to, what is that? Wetzel Pretzel.
Yeah.
You're never going to run into the owner there.
No.
It's going to be some 16-year-old, 18-year-old kid
Yeah.
flipping some whatever it is. What is it?
Pretzel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I haven't been
I'm
there in
dead.
years.
And
But-
even care less.
No,
but they would
yeah.
care less. Exactly.
Right,
There's
right.
no moment of like, oh my god, come back for more
Mhm.
pretzels.
Yes.
Right. It's like,
Right.
here you go, give me
Yeah.
$5.
We talk to literally, and this is my brother's a little bit better than me at this because
Mhm.
sometimes with the watches, you have to sit there and kind of explain it a little bit more, like the
Mhm.
movements, the complications.
Yes.
But we literally shake every single person's hand that comes
Wow.
in and thank them
See.
for their
Wow.
business.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Whether it's a $50 repair
Mhm.
or it's a $100,000 piece.
I love
Hey,
that.
thank you for your business.
Yes.
Hope to see you again. Are you happy?
Right.
I
Was
love
there
that.
anything that you would have as change? And sometimes people tell us,
Mhm,
and you
mhm.
got to learn from it.
Right.
Criticism is always good. That's how you fix
Definitely.
your business.
Yeah, because we're in loans and real estate, and it's almost like we are, we almost own our own business if you think
Yeah,
about it,
Of course.
And there are times where we have to make that executive decision to, on a maybe commission of 3%, you're going to 1% or
course.
1.5%. And sometimes I've been at companies as well where, the people that are doing the numbers, they're like, why are you cutting your commission here
Yeah.
and there? And it's like, sometimes you have to do that because later on, maybe, you'll be able to help them again, like you guys,
course.
or just, everybody is different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if you have that ability to be a good person and help that person, it's so important to do that.
Oh, 100%.
And for us, I would even say the same thing. I've been in real estate for about 10 years, and I'm not trying to be that person either. But honestly, I've had 10 years of growth and success every single year, where most people again have dropped out of the real estate industry.
Yeah.
Again, it's just every single year, but it's because I'm putting myself out there in the business, my shoes in the mud, literally. And you know what I mean?
Just like your business, you guys
Right.
pivot when the time is necessary to make
You have to.
adjustments.
You have to change your
Yes,
business. You have to
right.
go with the times.
Mhm,
I've
mhm.
had so many relatives of mine that were so successful, and then the minute websites came, social media and everything, they didn't shift their business. And
Yes.
I mean, look, yeah, they might still have the parents, but the kids aren't going to come to them,
Yeah.
Right.
and the kids' aren't going to come to them, and
Mhm.
that's essentially how you grow your business. You got to keep your
Yeah.
customers. Obviously, find new customers.
Yes.
But if you keep your customers and not have to keep continuing to find new ones just to sustain your business,
Yes.
it's the best way to do it.
It's
Right.
that old philosophy. Like I feel like the moment you burn one bridge, you burn all of them.
Yeah.
So you kind of really have to make sure you secure that relationship the best you can.
Oh,
Because
100%.
in real estate,
Mhm.
it's slay all day. Everybody wants to destroy everybody. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's grown
Yeah.
to just be negative and angry, and it's my money. It's
Yeah.
Like, what's going on
I
here?
was like, except me.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
everybody but him, right?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
But I feel like that happens a lot, especially in corporate America
Yeah.
and this real estate. I feel like a lot of realtors, lenders, and I'm sure in the jewelry space, people just have this negativity about themselves, saying like, I deserve it, I need this, it's gonna happen, and they forget about what's more important is that future possible receivable from that person walking in.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
I always saw that to
Mhm.
even my staff too. I said, look, your customer, a customer can go into a normal jewelry store and they'll
Mhm.
spend 20 grand a year, but they'll
Mhm.
come to Happy Jewelers and that same customer will spend 100 grand a year.
Yeah.
I said, there's a reason behind it is because
Mhm.
the customer feels comfortable.
Mhm.
Right.
I'll give you a story. Like last week, I had a client who referred him. He referred his buddy from Texas to me.
Okay.
And this client that referred him is a huge client of mine, right?
Mhm.
And we had a Richard Mill listed on the website for about
Amazing.
200,000.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
And the guy's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't want to spend that much. And I found it for X, X, Y, and Z. I found it for 180. But the watch that he found didn't have box, didn't have
Mhm.
papers, didn't have
Mhm.
anything,
Mhm.
right? So, yeah,
Right.
of course it's going to be 20 grand cheaper.
Right.
But, you know, I told my sales guy, I said, just do it.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
because you don't want him to go to his buddy that spends millions of dollars a year with us and say, oh, I found it somewhere else cheaper.
Got
Great
it.
strategy.
Yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
that's
I agree
amazing.
with that 100%. Wait,
Yeah.
perfect example for us too. We've had clients that want down payment assistance, and just so you know, down payment assistance is like, it's kind of like, probably you guys have probably credit lines where
Yeah.
people can get. It's kind of like going that route, right?
Yeah.
You don't really have a lot of control, but you do the best to make it happen. So it's like that for us. But then that down payment assistant client refers us somebody that does have pockets, and then it goes more and more. We've had one down payment assistance client that referred us 7 people.
Your
Right.
smallest
Oh, yeah.
client will give you your biggest client.
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy how the
100%.
numbers work.
Mhm,
Yeah.
You know,
mhm.
so I love the philosophy of that, and I love that you guys are so hands-on.
Yeah.
And man, and that explains the record you guys have at Happy Jewelers, because obviously I'm already happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was actually
I'm so happy.
I was-
This is
I'm a
like
happy
so
person
amazing.
anyway,
I
but,
love this so much.
it's just, it makes me happy to know that there's an existence of a company out there that values the client a lot more than just come in and buy jewelry from us and then
And
and
yeah,
that's the
can
end
we
of the story.
right? And can we talk about the name Happy Jewelers? Like, how did you guys establish this amazing name? Because I'm gonna be saying this in my head
Yeah.
like for the next couple of months.
I feel like it
'cause
was
I
a
just
baby
love it.
laughing. And,
Like,
you know, to
literally
be totally
Happy
honest with
Jewelers.
you, we bought it from an Oriental family,
Okay.
okay,
and it was Happy Jewelers.
Okay. Okay.
And
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
now. I don't know why.
you know, like happy nails, happy hair. you
yeah,
know?
okay.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Oh my god.
But
Well, I
it
love
just-
it though.
Yeah, it kind
Oh
of
my
like
God.
we kept it because we're
Yeah.
like, you know what? Well, it's not, you lose their
Uh-huh.
returning customers,
Yes.
and it just kind of became very catchy. People are like, oh, go to
Wow.
Happy,
yeah.
go to
Oh,
Happy,
okay.
and we just kind
okay.
of kept the name.
Oh my god, it's such a great name, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to jewelry, because like
I love the name too.
yeah, it's great. Have you guys been at the same spot for 25 years, the Happy Jeweler spot, or you guys have changed?
So we used to be in a jewelry mart for about 20 years, kind of like
Okay.
what's similar you see kind of like in downtown LA, but
Okay.
it was in Orange County in the Fullerton Jewelry Mart over there, which
Okay.
has been there for about 35, 40 years now.
Mhm,
Got it.
mhm.
And actually during COVID, when COVID first hit, you know, there was the six feet or, you know, the social
Yes,
distancing, but our
yes.
booth was probably the size of, I mean, it was tiny,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
you know, like maybe 300 square feet. We had like a little
Mhm, mhm.
kiosk over there.
Yes.
And the landlord of because he was subleasing it from the shopping center, and then he was leasing it out to everybody in there. He
Mhm.
kept giving us a really hard time because we're a busy store,
Oh, I see.
you know. And we
Oh,
kept
yeah.
telling him like, "Hey, stop giving us a hard time. If you keep
Mhm.
giving us a hard time, we're gonna leave."
Mm.
And he goes, "Oh, you guys aren't gonna go anywhere. I don't care. This and that."
Wow.
Oh,
So
Wow.
well, ain't that
yeah.
something?
next
Yeah.
month we signed a lease in the same shopping center,
No way.
and we literally got a place in the same shopping center, and
Wow.
it was a huge mistake on his end because
Uh-huh.
we gave confidence to the other people in there as clients because we're always busy.
Yes.
Got it.
Right? When you walk into a
Yes.
jewelry store and it's dead, you don't
Right.
feel comfortable spending your
Of
money in there.
course.
And
Definitely.
also, a lot of clients that would come would think it was one big Happy Jeweler, so they would go to other
Mm.
people in there.
Wow.
Of course.
Wow.
So we moved out, and then 6 months ago, we actually knocked the wall, made the store double the size,
Oh my god.
and now we might
congrats,
double it up
congrats.
again.
Wow,
Yeah, okay, there you go.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
whoever
Okay, I
you
love
are,
that.
you know who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have never done that.
Should have never
Right.
done that.
You're
Yeah.
not so happy anymore.
Yeah.
Not so wow.
I had to.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
It's a happy face with the cross on it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Over
But
there,
that's
not
the
here.
same thing what we did, right? Like,
Mhm,
take
mhm.
care of your customers.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know
right.
who's like, it was a really dumb move on his
Mhm.
end, but you know what?
Mhm.
I thank him every day for it because our business
Mhm.
tripled.
There you go.
Because
Love
we'd
that.
never be able to do the volume that we're doing.
Mhm. Everything
Now-
happens for a reason,
yeah.
right? I love that. I love
And
that.
in your jewelry business, or maybe any jewelry business, but in yours, approximately, what is the most lucrative item or the item that? Well, I'll ask you 2 questions. What's one of the most hardest items for you to get from your distributor, and what's one of the most easiest items to sell? Hardest items to get and easiest items to sell.
High-end watches like
Mhm.
Rolexes, Richard Mills,
Mhm.
Pateks are going to be the toughest items to get.
Okay.
Mhm.
And they're
Is,
going
is there a reason for that, or?
to because there's no supply.
Okay.
You know, as we were going back where you go into a stores, there's still no supply.
Right.
Of them,
Oh,
right? They're
right,
still
right.
sold out everywhere. So you're
Mhm.
paying crazy premiums, as in like they're easy to get if you're willing to pay the money for them.
Oh.
Mhm.
But
Got
if
it.
you want a good price, you got to be able
Yeah.
to know where to find it,
Right.
and you have to have the connections in order to get it,
Mhm.
so you can sell it for a good price as well.
Okay.
The easiest item to sell is probably lab engagement rings right now because
Okay.
of the
Oh
price point.
really? Oh wow. And lab engagement rings, as in like the diamonds being created in the lab.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So there's a
Okay.
natural
Uh-huh.
diamond, which is grown under earth thousands and thousands of years.
Yes.
And then a lab diamond is where they'll essentially take the minerals of a diamond and they'll grow it in a lab in a few week process, but it looks
Okay.
the same, feels the same, has the same carbon, same hardness, same everything as a diamond. You can't physically see the difference between them,
and
but it's like a tenth of the price.
wow. And what
Oh.
what are your thoughts on that? Because for me, like I just again, it goes back to the rock and the
Yeah.
energy. Like I wouldn't be able to have a lab grown diamond, and I know a lot of people would.
Yeah.
But for me, like I need my like real diamond. You know what I mean? So what is your thought on the two?
For me, look, as a businessman, I
Okay,
like
yeah.
it, right?
No, yeah.
I mean,
and
as
maybe it's just my mindset. I don't know. But
Yeah.
you tell us.
It's
as
still
a
diamond.
businessman, I like it. As a resell aspect of it, there's no resell,
Got it.
right? So let's say
Got
you
it.
come in, you spend
Mhm.
$7,000-8,000 on a lab diamond.
Mhm.
There's no value to it as
Mhm.
soon as you walk out of the store,
Right.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
But I think for budget, if
Right.
you're on a budget, you know,
Mhm.
you want a 1 carat, you want a 2 carat diamond,
Yes.
but you only want to spend 1,500, 2 grand, 2,500
Got it.
instead of spending like 10, 12 grand on
Right.
a natural.
Right.
I think it's a great way to go.
No, yeah,
Got it.
and
That makes
I
sense.
think that's amazing too. I
Yeah.
think for me again, it's just like I have like a mindset of it being like an energy thing,
Yeah,
and
of
not
course.
everybody has that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go and
Oh,
get a
100%.
diamond, you don't have to go spend 20,000.
Look, would I give my wife a lab?
Right.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
I love you.
Yeah.
Does she have a
Okay, but
lab?
yeah,
No.
but yeah.
No,
Right?
she has a natural.
No, yeah.
Okay.
But you know, look, if we were going on vacation like
No, yeah.
overseas and she wanted to wear like,
Mhm.
you know, her 2.5, 3 carat studs each,
Okay.
I'd be like, hey babe, you know what? Why don't you put the natural ones in the safe? Let's take the lab.
Wow, I
If
like
God
that.
forbid something happens,
Right.
you don't have to worry about
I
it.
think we
And
need to go
then-
visit your store. I need
Mhm.
some earrings and all
Right,
that. Like,
yeah,
He hasn't
yeah,
come
we're
by.
definitely gonna
Jesus.
come by.
Yeah, we have to.
No, yeah, and that's smart because then she still feels like she has the real diamond,
Yeah.
the minerals and all that. It's
Yeah.
still a real diamond. It's just
Yeah.
you know, it's just a little different. A
Yeah.
little different.
And they
yes.
both sell. I mean,
Mhm,
there's
right.
people from both. You know, some people like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't want a lab, I want
Yeah.
natural. And some
Mhm.
people are like,
Okay.
you know, we have a lot of clients of ours too, like
Mhm,
that have, you know, 10 carat natural diamonds that they bought a long time ago.
mhm.
They'll bring their ring in and they say, hey, make me the same thing in a lab.
Okay.
Oh wow.
They'll put the real one in the safe and they'll wear the lab
Oh
one.
my gosh.
So if, like,
wow.
You know, instead of them wearing like a $250,000 walk on their
Mhm.
hand, they're wearing, you know, a $15,000-$20,000 lab one.
Mhm.
And if God forbid something happens, you're not stressed.
I call that wealthy people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I don't want to say our top clients.
Wow.
No, yeah.
You know who
Right.
you are too.
You know who you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, exactly.
And do you have like a certain piece that Happy Jewelers has sold and you're like, wow, this was one of our like amazing sales? Because I know for us, you know, we have houses that we sell and we're like, that $5 million property was one of our
Mhm.
biggest sales. Like, you know, do you have an item where you're like, you just remember it was a huge sell?
Yeah, I have a few. We sold a 4 carat pear shape for about 3.8 million.
Oh my god.
We sold a Richard Mills sapphire for about 4.5 million.
Oh my god.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
No way.
Yeah. And it was probably the easiest sales too.
Ah.
Because nobody in the world can get it,
Oh
right?
my
You have to have the
wow.
right connections. Because
Okay.
a person that owns a diamond, the diamond is not going to be in the U.S. It's going to be
Mm.
overseas
Okay.
with a big site holder.
Got it.
And a normal jeweler that's going to pick up the phone and call them, they're not even going to waste their time.
Okay.
You know, like,
Yeah.
hey,
Right.
do you even like, because look, as a site holder, if you send the diamond, because we get the diamond we want it on memo, right? We want to take a look at it, make sure everything's
Mhm,
perfect, and then we'll wire the money out,
Okay.
right? With a site holder, if he's sending you the diamond for 3.8, 4.5 million, or even $1 million,
Mhm.
right? If God forbid something happens, he needs to know that you have the ability to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, what if the diamond gets stolen? What if it
Mhm.
gets lost
Right.
before you collect the money? What if you
Mhm,
collect the money and never pay him?
Right.
Right. So a
Wow.
normal jewelry store can't obtain a stone like that. You
Mhm,
have to have a name. You know, you got to be like, not to be like thing, but like, you know, us,
Mhm.
we have a name, we have the reputation, we
Right.
built the history behind it.
Yes.
Company like Cartier,
Mhm,
Tiffany,
mhm.
Chopard will be able to get
Wow.
items like that.
And is there? I know I've heard about insurance for like smaller rings. Is there insurance for like those big
Yeah.
$75,000 or $1 million diamonds?
100%.
Wow.
Really?
Of course.
Wow.
And
Okay.
every company will do it.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
Chubb, State
Mhm.
Farm, homeowners insurance.
Oh,
There's a
wow.
company, Jewelers Mutual.
Oh,
is
so
really
just like a
good.
regular like policy is sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no,
wow.
you have to have it physically insured, but yeah, regular policy, they'll give
So,
it to
so
you.
if I was to say, hey, I lost my diamond just fell off one day,
They'll pay you out.
ain't that something?
They'll pay you out. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they
a
might
real good thing.
investigate it, make
Oh,
sure
of
it's like
course. So
everything, but yeah, they'll pay you out.
It's not in
Wow.
the safe.
No, yeah.
Right.
No, they'll pay you out. I mean, with you guys, especially
Mm-hmm.
like with your, you know, your
Mhm.
history, your business, because
Mhm.
insurance companies before, they would just pay out. Now they're not as stupid, right?
Right,
After 2008,
right.
when everybody was scamming
They
the
really
insurance
do
companies.
the
Of course.
research.
So they'll actually look you up. You know,
Mhm.
they'll look at what you do for a living.
Yeah.
If you make a
Does
claim
it
or
make
something
sense?
like that, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
they
love
might
that.
drop you right after, but they'll pay you.
God. There you go. Can we go back to that diamond though, really quick? So
Yeah.
what kind of jewel was this?
It
Again?
was a 4.5 carat pear shape, fancy, vivid, pink,
diamond.
Okay.
flawless. Yep.
Oh my god.
So it was a natural pink.
I want
like,
that to pop up.
Wow. Yeah. Can we like? pull
You'll
up-
go back into the recording,
'Cause
pop
the-
it up and
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pink diamonds are some of the rarest, correct?
some of the rarest. Yeah.
Wow. And like-
Pinks, blues.
Wow.
Red's the most expensive.
Red is the
really
most
a red
expensive.
diamond?
Is it
I've
just
never
a-
even
is-
heard of this.
Is it natural or
Oh
is
my
it
God.
dyed or?
No, it's natural. Like a natural
Wow.
red diamond, like even a
Really?
half carat, which is tiny,
I've never heard.
will
of a
cost
red
you like
diamond.
1.5, $2
Oh
million.
my god.
Yeah.
And so was this rock? Was it already on a ring or is just a rock, literally?
Most of the time, they're bought by private investors and they're
Mhm.
probably put in a safe, not worn,
Okay.
Not
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Just to
Yeah.
hold that rock?
just to hold it. It's
Oh
for
my
because it's money,
goodness. Okay.
right? Diamonds like that. I hate saying jewelry and
Uh-huh.
watches are investments,
Uh-huh.
but things like that, yeah, they are because at the
Wow.
end of the day, they're so rare,
Right.
right? If you have a 1 carat red diamond that you bought for 1.5 million
Mhm.
and there's a buyer for it that wants it, you know, I want 2.5. Well, it's not worth 2.5. Well, go get it. Go find it.
Wow.
Oh, they'll
Right.
find it. 'cause
Wow.
They
it's-
won't find it.
Oh,
So
they
you
won't
have to pay
find
the
it, so you have to-
So
2.5.
they'll pay the
Oh.
2.5.
Yeah.
So those tend to appreciate pretty easy.
Oh,
then.
100%.
Right.
Oh wow.
And they'll most likely always go back to auction
Okay.
and they'll be privately
Mhm.
sold again.
Okay. So if I find any red diamonds, Mike,
Call me.
Yeah.
Call me.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it's like the
we'll
lotto
call you, we'll
scratcher.
call
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what's
wow.
crazy too is like
Uh-huh.
the natural colored ones, they're not
Mhm.
even that dark.
Okay.
It's not like, oh my God, it's like pure red where you're
Okay.
looking
It's
at
not
it
like
where it looks
emerald
a
red or
green.
some
No.
dark
Oh,
red or
got
something.
it.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of like the diamond color, but the shade of what
Yeah.
the color it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I get stunned on the like price of a rock. You
Oh,
know
it's
what I mean?
wild.
He once told me. I'm gonna tell him the
What
story.
did I say?
I'm gonna say it.
Oh, no.
He once told me he. I'm gonna have to laugh because
Sure.
they're gonna laugh back here. You guys, this is funny. He once told me he wants a bath of diamonds. Like just you know what you know.
Did I?
Yeah,
so
yeah, of
picture, yeah.
course.
You told me like,
Okay.
oh, I'll be happy until I have my teeth full of diamonds, and he takes
Oh,
a bath
yeah.
full of
Okay,
diamonds.
maybe.
All
Oh,
the
yeah.
small diamonds. Yeah.
Showered in diamonds.
Showered in diamonds in the
I
bath.
love
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
bro.
That'd
No,
be
it's because
awesome.
I love diamonds. You're making me turn red.
Like Scottish shit, like yeah,
But
that makes
no,
sense.
I love
I think the
diamonds.
girls would be better than the bath of diamonds.
Okay,
You might
yeah.
get cut up with the bath of
Oh
diamonds.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Ugh.
Do
Yeah.
you guys actually do pieces like that, like grills or anything like that?
We do a lot of custom, like
Mhm.
really big pieces. Grills,
Okay.
I tend to stay away from just because we're not built for it. Like you have to
Got
like
it.
actually go to like
Right.
take
Yeah.
the molds of the
Mhm, mhm.
tea change, and you gotta.
Mhm.
We've tried doing it a couple times,
Caught it.
but if we're not like,
Mhm.
it always doesn't come out right. So
Right.
we don't feel comfortable charging a customer big money
Mhm.
when it doesn't come out right.
But we can come to you and get like basically crushed diamonds if we needed to, or like little
Yeah.
mini diamonds
Yeah,
to
yeah,
put
of
on.
course.
The,
Yeah.
okay, love.
I mean,
that,
we
love
make
that.
anything. We
Mhm.
can make your logo
Oh,
all in
nice.
diamonds, and we
Okay.
make faces.
Oh my
we
God,
make
Necklace
Eli's
too and
Mike
everything?
logo.
Yeah, exactly.
Eli
Right.
Mike logos,
Right.
with made out of diamonds.
Yeah, we should.
I'm so down.
You know? Yeah, definitely, definitely.
That'll look good.
Imagine
You
doing
know?
one of those in red diamonds.
Mhm. Oh
That'd be
my
cool.
god.
40 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little
God.
pricey. A little
All right,
pricey.
we need to sell that mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's and maybe this is not the right way to ask the question. So what's holding you guys back to create more companies, more out there? So you have your Happy Jewelers in Fullerton. What's holding you back to expand and have another Happy Jewelers and keep spreading?
The experience won't be the same.
Okay.
If me and my brother aren't there, like even
Mhm.
today, right? Like I
Right.
love my staff, I love my salespeople, but they can only do so much.
Right.
Right?
And
They don't
thank
have
you
like
for being here.
I went back to like the Richard Mill deal, right?
Yeah.
My employee would never be able to make that call,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That
Right.
makes so much sense.
Right.
If the feeling won't be the same if
Right.
the owner's not there. Half the deals
Mhm.
won't get done.
Yes.
Okay.
And we would never want to open up another store branded with Happy Jewelers and then have somebody go like if we open up a store in Vegas or Scottsdale, they went in and they didn't have the experience that they deserve.
Yes.
Okay, I love that.
Definitely.
And that's huge for us too, because I feel like a lot of people, when we do delegate as well, because we kind of have to. There's only so much real estate and mortgage you can
Yeah.
do because there's only one person, but we do delegate. But I do get the feedback from some clients that are asking us, it's going to be you showing me the house, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're like, no, because sometimes we have to be
Of
putting our
course.
feet out there. So I can imagine how customers feel like, can I actually talk to you, Danny?
Yeah.
Are you going to be there? Or is Gabe
Yeah.
going to be there?
Of course.
And it would be hard to crush somebody's mind and soul be like,
Exactly.
oh, I'm sorry, I can't be there. Buy your biggest, most best investment for you and your wife, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can see how that can impact
Yeah.
people for
Right.
sure.
Right. Right.
Well,
know?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we'll delegate it to a salesperson, but we're there.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, like we're there assisting because we're
Right.
obviously going from like client to client because
Mhm.
we're a busy store. Like on a Saturday, we get about 380 to 400 people into the
Oh
store.
my gosh.
On a
these
weekday, we
are
get about 2 to
amazing
250 people.
numbers. Oh my god.
Like Saturdays, we actually have a line out the door.
Wow.
It really is, no
No,
joke.
yeah.
Like even like our security guard will be outside, and like when there's like a 20-person line,
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Hey, is there any pickups
Wow.
that we can service really quick so we can get the line?" Because for us, it's like, it's cool, it's great, it's a blessing,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't want a line because it's like
Uh-huh.
when people drive by, they're like, "Oh, dude, I'm not gonna deal with that,"
Okay.
Yeah, they don't
and they'll
okay,
drive
yeah.
away. You know?
Dang,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
What-
And I mean, really quick. So this brings me back to the 10 years of being voted best in Orange County. Obviously, your brother, your dad, you guys create this atmosphere that makes everyone want to come back. You treat everyone right. You give them the right prices. But is there something else that you guys are doing to have these lines of people? So many, 250 people. I mean, that is
Right.
amazing for a jewelry store. You know what I mean?
The relationship.
Mhm.
You build a relationship.
Wow.
I mean, at the end
Wow.
of the day, it's the same thing for you guys, right? If
Yes.
you build a relationship with a
Mhm.
client where you become friends with them, right? Because business should be fun,
Right.
right? When I
Right.
walk up to my customer and they're buying something, 90% of our conversation is, how's the family, how's work, how's business, talk about life.
Right.
And then like, okay, well, what am I looking at? What am I going to get?
Wow.
Because
Right.
I think you guys have like a slogan, the happy treatment.
Happy
that
looks
right?
good on you.
Oh,
Happy looks good on you.
on you.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like
but,
that.
Yeah, but it's all friends.
Yeah.
I mean, at the
okay.
end of the day, like if you walk into the store,
Relationships.
you'll think, which they are, like,
Mhm.
80 to 90% of the people walking in, they're friends.
Right.
And
Okay.
I love it.
Right,
And it's
right.
years over
That's
years over years. And
amazing.
also what that does too is like, if they ever walked into another store, like I've had even buddies, because we have friends in the jewelry business, right? They'll always be like, "Oh, your customer came in with one of my clients." He goes, "I don't know what the hell you do to your customers, but they're like 8 feet away from the showcase." And they won't even look at my stuff. Like, "No, we go to Happy Jewelers. We're not coming near you."
Ain't that
Oh
something?
my
Yeah, they're like, "Come
God.
over here. We're not going to bite
Yeah,
you." You know what I mean? He goes,
yeah.
"No, we're going to Happy
Right.
Jewelers."
And loyalty is so
right.
hard to get right now. Nobody really
Yeah.
tends to be loyal for anything
Uh-huh.
anymore.
No,
So
Uh-huh.
loyalty is it's priceless.
it's a big thing.
right,
You know?
But we're loyal too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course.
right? Sometimes there's clients where they call us and like you said, right? When they're looking for a down payment for a house, they're like, "Hey, dude, we really need a couple $100,000." I'm like, "Okay, well, you know what? Like, bring some of the watches you bought. We'll loan it to
Wow.
you. Put the down
Wow.
payment on the home.
Mhm.
House is a little more important than
Right.
some
okay.
watches and etc."
Wow.
And then after their escrow closes and everything frees up,
Mhm.
they'll come back. and
So
pick
you're
it up.
saying there's down payment assistance to your jewelry
Sometimes.
company.
Right.
But
Sorry,
we're
I had to
there.
say that.
We're there. I mean, we're always there for
I
you,
love
no
that.
matter
That's
what.
that's fascinating. So that makes so much sense why you don't have a lot of stores open, because it just will take away from that genuine feel, that intimate moment you have with a client to
Yeah.
to build that relationship.
Right.
So what's the next step? Like, what are you guys looking to do? So because obviously there's only 3 of you.
Yeah.
I know you said you have 2 kids. You
Yeah,
have boy and a girl?
3.
3.
3 kids.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So boy, girl,
2 girls and a boy.
2 girls and a
Love
boy.
it,
Are they
love
gonna?
it.
Are you planning on putting them in the
I
business?
hope so.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
We
They have
tried
a
with
lot
our
of
daughter
jewelry-
too, but
they have a
she-
lot of jewelry to pick from, right?
Oh, they do.
You
Sometimes
know?
my daughters are 6 and 2.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll call me and they're like, "Hey, like Baba in our language is Dad.
Mhm.
Can you FaceTime me? I want to look at some earrings. Can you bring
Oh
me some
my
earrings
God!
home?"
No way.
I'm like, "Are you
That's so
kidding me right
cool.
now?"
Right.
And then my
right.
2-year-old is like, "Me too, me
Oh
too."
my
Wow,
God.
you're starting
Love
early.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
That's
It's cool.
amazing.
And
Mhm.
me and my brother are married to sisters.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
How it all
Okay,
just
okay.
worked out like
It
that.
all
That's
worked out.
so
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it,
I
love
like
it. There
that.
you go. There you go.
Wow.
Happy family. Happy family.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
So what's the next thing? So
Yeah.
obviously you have your office, you have your business. It's
Yeah.
growing. It's super successful. Best in the OC in the last decade. What is the next thing you guys are looking to do? Is there a certain growth or a limit or a roof that you want to surpass?
Yeah, there is. So right now we're focusing on our online,
Okay.
Mhm.
right? So for the amount of volume that we do in store, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm very honest, our online should be doing way more,
Okay.
Got it.
right? We're doing about 40, 50 packages online a day,
Wow.
but it's some of the smaller items
Mm-hmm.
where we need to start getting more into like that engagement ring. Because if you go on our
Mhm.
website, you won't really see that we're, oh my God, they're a huge engagement ring store.
Okay.
So right now we're actually working on it. We hired a bunch of new people. We're looking to break the wall, get the next floor space as well too, to kind of push it out,
Amazing.
Got
help
it.
with the shipping. But our
Wow.
next goal is to really, really focus on our online, because I think we could, 10 times the business on there.
Yeah,
And-
we were talking actually off camera, and some people don't understand how important online is.
Oh, it's huge.
Right, of what it can bring you. And I think you were telling me a little story. Maybe you could let them know that you got a referral from somewhere out of even country.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
So it was a friend of mine that has a watch store in Newport had a watch that a dealer in Monaco wanted,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Wow.
because the guy in Monaco's clients from Italy, but he
Oh
was
my
staying in
God.
Newport,
Oh my
Okay.
God.
right? So he
Literally.
essentially wanted to pay him the money, and he wanted the watch to get delivered to Newport to the client.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. There's no relationship, right? So the dealer's like, hey, I'm not going to just wire you the money
Of course.
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
trust that you're going to go take it to the dealer, because you could be some
Right.
guy just in his basement.
Right,
the watch
right,
listed
right.
online,
Yes.
So he's like, well, name some people in the jewelry or watch business that you know in LA, and I'll see if I know them, because
Mm.
the jewelry and watch business is really tight knit, and you work
Yeah.
off references, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Sometimes I'll buy a $500,000 watch where I've never worked with the guy, but he's like, hey, do you know anybody in New York? I'm like, yeah, I know so and so. They'll call the guy. Yeah, he's good. Don't worry about it. Send it to him. I'll pay you.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Fantastic.
So guy in Monaco reached out through Instagram. He said, hey, this and this. I said, well, how'd you hear about us? He goes, oh, well, I saw you on some YouTube videos with producer Michael,
No
and
way.
I know you work with a lot of dealers in LA, and I asked them, and they said you're good. Would you do me a huge favor and take receipt of the watch? Once you have possession of the watch, I'll wire him the money, and when you deliver it for me in Newport. I said, yeah, of course. He's like, I'll pay you a couple grand for your time just to make sure it's safe. I said, no need for the money. I said, you never know. Maybe there's going to be one day where I need something in Monaco or Italy
Right.
or south
right,
of France
right.
where you'll come
Mhm.
through for me.
Mhm.
Wow.
But it's crazy.
Right, and
It's
that all
wild.
came from
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
And-
He found us out through
Wow.
YouTube, and he saw our inventory, our collection, who we are,
Wow.
So
and he started
fabulous.
following us on Instagram. And
Wow.
And I mean, obviously, this is going to be on YouTube also, guys. So you guys will be able to see everything about Happy Jewelers, and
Yeah.
on the reels we're going to be
Right.
collaborating on. It's going to be pretty amazing as
I
well.
love it.
And was that like, what kind of transaction was that? Like 100K plus transaction?
60.
Like, okay, there you
60K.
go. Wow.
Yeah.
So again, just from somebody seeing you off YouTube, they're like,
Yeah.
he looks credible. Somebody's talking about you. You're
Yep.
credible. It's like, how do you say no?
Yeah.
And,
And you never know, like that's
Mhm.
future business too, right? Now you have a new
Mhm.
relationship, and you have somebody in
Mhm.
Europe,
Right,
you know,
right, right.
you have
Yes,
somebody in Monaco
definitely.
that's willing to.
So
work
how
with you.
so how does it make you feel? You're an owner of this successful jewelry company. How does it make you feel as a human being, knowing that you are running an empire that's fully controlled by your family, your siblings, your dad, your family, in this culture that you created? How does it make you feel sleeping at night, waking up and knowing that you're doing something that possibly might be good? Or how do you feel about that?
I feel amazing. I mean, sometimes like it's stressful at times. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
there's so much to do.
Right.
I'm out of bed, I'm like
Mhm.
running,
Okay.
but
okay.
it's the greatest feeling in the world.
yeah.
It really is. Like sometimes when you have a client comes in and he goes, oh, I was referred by 10 different people to you.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
literally like the greatest feeling in the world, because you built it.
Wow.
Wow.
And what about family? 50 years in business. I have 5 brothers, 1 sister. You know what I mean? A lot of us are in real estate even, and we have all our own businesses. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which we're all on good terms, but it's a little difficult. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
What would you say your secret to success is when it comes to 50 years of family growth? I know you haven't been there the whole 50 years. But obviously, when you're a kid, you got to see your dad, and it's kind of like
Of
your
course.
business. You've been going through this the whole time. What is your secret to keeping it all together?
When me and my brother were younger, we used to butt heads all the time.
Got it.
We used to
Like
fight a lot.
normal brothers, of
Like normal
course.
brothers.
Are you guys like how many years apart?
He's 7 years older than me.
Okay,
7 years,
okay,
okay.
there you go.
And
There you go.
sometimes like when we were younger, I'm like, oh, dude, I can't. I'm not working with you anymore.
Right.
Let's split.
Mhm.
Let's split. Let's go our
Mhm.
own ways.
Yes.
And my dad used to always tell us, and this is for everybody, right? 2 heads are better than 1,
Yes,
and you're never in it alone,
I agree.
right? Having a partner you could trust, nothing like family. If you're in a crunch, you're in it together. You're not doing it by yourself. And if you don't have a solution, maybe he will. And if he doesn't have one, you have one.
I
I
think that's
love
great.
that.
That's such a
Wow.
great,
Wow.
great tip, because me and him work like that. There's so many times I'm lost,
Yeah.
and he finds a way to help fix it, and then the other
Right.
time I feel like he's not there, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So it just works, but we also butt heads too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
But it works because that difference, right? Because you and your
course.
brother might be brothers, related to your mom and everything, but you both are completely different human beings.
Right.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Even business wise, we're
Mhm.
completely different.
And so your dad, he taught you this lesson. Is that kind of like the start of it, where you were like opening up your mind to be like, okay, I need to work with my brother.
Yeah.
Like I can't keep fighting with him
Of
like
course.
this.
I mean, it took us like probably another 3-4 years.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
his speech would always help us.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because my dad's interesting, right? He was always very hard, very strict on us,
Mhm.
but he was also very lax and let us make our own mistakes, right? Even
Mhm.
though he knew
Mhm.
we were making the mistake,
Mhm, mhm.
he would let us make it in order to learn from it, right?
Mm.
There's been so many times where we went into separate ventures, different things, and he knew we were going to lose, but he said, you know what, let them do it.
Got it.
Let them take their hit, let them
Right.
take their loss, let them waste their time,
Mhm.
and they'll learn from it.
Amazing.
I feel like we're in the same boat right now. Our daughter's 20. She's moving to Washington, and I feel like she's challenging herself, saying that she thinks California is too expensive.
Yeah.
And I felt like, all right, well, try Washington, see how you feel,
Yeah.
you know, and see if it works for you. And I personally, we feel like it might be a mistake.
Yeah.
But, you know, I love her, and she's going to have to try it on her own. And
You have to.
you
Right.
have to let them go
Right.
and let them try it.
and not
if-
even like a mistake. It's like, just try it out. You
Just
know what
try
I
it
mean?
out,
Like,
yeah.
everything needs
And I'm
to-
sure your dad felt the same way. Let them try it. Let them
Yeah.
try it, see how it goes. But
Right.
he had your back when you came back.
He did.
Mhm.
Always.
Mhm.
Always.
And
He's
that's
like-
the perspective we have. We feel exactly the same way. We're very family oriented as well. We're very close to our kids, but we also let them just do their own thing.
Yeah.
Try it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, hey,
What about your
That's it.
two ways of working together? Because you said you guys are two different type of businessmen. How do you guys like meet in the middle? If you have some advice, you know, for
Yeah.
business people that are working
So,
together, family.
That's why we kind of separated, you know, the watch side of it, diamond jewelry
Got
side
it.
of it. He kind of handles that end of it. I handle that end of it because I'm
Mhm.
more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, right? Like my brother's very like high pressure,
Got it.
high intense.
Yes.
I wouldn't say micromanage, but he's
Uh-huh. Right.
like he wants everything at his fingertips.
Right.
You know. So
Right.
sometimes when a little thing goes wrong, he's like
Yeah.
freaking out,
Right. Right.
and I always have to come in and be like, "Hey, dude,
Yeah.
like relax.
Mhm.
Like it's not that big of a
Wow.
deal."
so you're more like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, bro, relax.
Yeah.
Like chill, like calm
Okay,
down.
everything's
Right,
gonna be
right.
just fine.
Yeah, it's not burning to the ground.
Yeah.
Small
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
chill. Like there's
Mhm.
nothing to freak out about. Because
Right.
look, if you freak out and you're very like, it makes everybody around you stress out,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? And that's not a good environment.
No, it's
Right.
not.
You don't want
Right.
that. So
Right.
I guess yeah, we're yin and yang. You know, he'll stress
Mhm.
out, and I'll go on like, chill out,
Got it.
relax.
Yeah.
It's almost 5 o'clock. Have a drink.
Mhm.
Everything's gonna be
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just needs to feed me, like, go eat up some food.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
like,
I'm sure he gets everything in line and
Yeah,
everything's.
he does.
You know what
He
I
does.
mean?
I'm sure
I mean,
it
look,
helps.
if it wasn't
Right.
for him, yeah, 100%.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean,
Yeah,
he's one
definitely.
of the smartest people I know.
There
Yeah,
you go. I love
100%.
that there is a yin and a yang like that. You know what I mean? It's so needed in business, and it seems like you guys stay in your guys' lanes.
Yeah.
You know, he works in the mortgage lenders, one of the owners there, and then I'm in real estate. So, you know, I never really go into his world when it comes to lending or when it comes to real estate. I mean, he doesn't even know what I'm doing because it's like that's my lane.
Exactly.
And that has at least kept us in business for 13 years. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
100%.
still growing, still growing.
Yeah, 100%.
So-
You know, the one side is good sometimes, and one side it needs to carry the other side,
Mhm.
and both. It's
Yeah,
all, it's awesome.
Definitely.
Well, you
Love
know,
it.
we want to appreciate you being on the show. Honestly, this is we're number 2 on the platform on Apple on
amazing.
Entrepreneur. Thank you.
Congratulations. Really.
So we obviously thank our listeners and viewers. So we want to leave off with just like some final slogans about your company. I think we read into them, but we'd love for you to say them. What are some slogans or some philosophies of Happy
And
Jewelers?
like why are these your slogans?
Yeah.
You know?
You know, obviously our company name is Happy Jewelers, and we always say happy looks good on you because, you know, everything we produce and everything we make will always make you look good. It'll make you feel good,
Mhm.
and it's all handcrafted, all lifetime guaranteed, and we use top quality.
Oh my
And our number
gosh.
one thing is customer service.
Mm.
Always customer service. Even if you
Mhm.
have to take a loss on the deal, even if
Wow.
it's just do it. I mean, just make
Yeah.
the customer happy. Make sure they
Right.
come back. And you know, if you come to us or come ever in Orange County, you want to visit us, come by. I promise you will not be disappointed, and we'll find something you're gonna really love.
And guys,
Love
it's the
that.
Orange County experience. Like, who doesn't want to go to Orange County? I want to
Yeah.
go to Orange County right now.
And we're like 5-10 minutes from Disneyland too.
Oh, there
know,
you
and we were
go,
just
there
there
you go.
recently, too.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But thank you so much. And again, people can find you on Happy Jewelers at Happy Jewelers. Is there any other places or locations they can find you at?
On our website,
And what is that?
www.happyjewelers.com.
Okay, simple.
And then all
happyjewelers.com.
your tags for YouTube and Instagram.
Oh, yeah. So
Yes.
you know, YouTube is Happy Jewelers. We have Instagram Happy Jewelers,
Love it.
TikTok Happy
Secure.
Jewelers, and
Amazing.
we do it all. I mean,
Love it.
we collaborate with a lot of people, and we have a lot
Amazing.
of content. If you want watch knowledge, you probably go more the YouTube route. We do my brother does jewelry picks of the week for jewelry on
Amazing.
Instagram.
Love
I
it.
do
Love
Tuesdays
that.
and Friday watch sales.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
I love that.
it. Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much.
amazing,
And
amazing.
obviously,
Thank
we're
you
going to be
guys.
rolling this out a couple reels sometimes in the next, hopefully the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're going to collaborate on that, and then we'll roll out that the full podcast on our long version YouTube and
Definitely.
Facebook. So
And also one other thing, they have been voted best in jewelers for 10 years straight in Orange County.
Orange
So you
County.
guys have to go out there. And where could they go and vote for this again? Because that's a
Yeah.
amazing accomplishment.
on the OC register. So
There
there's
you
gonna be
go.
all businesses all around Orange County for restaurants, jewelry stores, and everything like that that you can vote for.
Amazing.
make sure to vote for us at Happy Jewelers.
We
There
haven't
you
even
go.
bought jewelry, and we're gonna vote. You
Yeah.
know?
Right, Happy Jewelers. No, we got our jewelry.
Oh, wait a minute, we
yesterday.
did.
Yeah,
I'm
That's
so
right.
excited, and I
That's
love
why I
it
brought
so
it for the
much.
vote.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just
my.
kidding.
You
No,
gotta
for real,
vote.
for the vote. No, thank you so much. We're
No,
so
of
honored.
course.
We
Thank you guys for
appreciate
having
you.
me.
We're gonna be so happy after this.
Thank you so
Thank
much, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.